Special Operations, Covert Ops, Espionage, The Team House, with your hosts, Jack Murphy and David Park.
That's good stuff, man. So let's talk about your 2016 trip to Nazala, right? Nazala to Afghanistan.
Yeah. Oh, Baghlan province.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Puli Kumri. And yeah. Yeah. So 2016 trip, I actually went with a different company because they needed 18 Charlies and so I jumped onto that trip and ended up going going with an ODA that was doing a clearance operation in Baghlan province. And, their Charlies that they had were all out of the course. And so they wanted somebody that had found some IEDs before and whatnot. So I linked up with them and we did all the trade ups, then we infilled and, it was, I mean, we were in Baghlan for about 45 days, but when it came time to do this village clearance of Naizula, we kick off the mission. We're driving in Afghan Humvees because what we wanted to do is every time the Afghans went into this village, they'd get in a fight, they'd get the shit kicked out of them, and then retreat back with licking their wounds. So we were like, okay, well, we'll infill like we're just another Afghan patrol going in. We'll start taking fire, and then we'll call in air support and just absolutely annihilate these dudes. It's like, yeah, it's a good idea. Everything's a good idea until the first round flies across. So, but get out there and we infill in, and everything's going to plan, and we go from mounted to dismounted and start moving up through the first compound, our first objective. And of course it's tucked in nicely behind an orchard, which orchards are bad news, Iraq and Afghanistan. So, but we already knew had to clear the orchard, get to this first compound. So far, we heard some ICOM chatter, but nothing crazy. No one knew anything different. It was more just like, yeah, let the guys go and they'll leave. They're all Afghans, blah, blah, blah. No one knew Americans were on the ground to the best of our knowledge. But so start clearing through the orchard, and we get like, I don't know, halfway through, and it's, you got to set the scene. It's dead quiet. It's, you're looking for IEDs under, nods, which is super horrible.
Yeah.
But out of the, just the dead silent, we hear this loud pop. So everyone hits the deck because you're supposed to. And it's like, what was that? Was it sniper fire or something? Like, what in the hell? And so, what was it? Jaweed, Abe and myself were caught up in like this line. And it's like, oh shit, we just hit a tripwire IED that low ordered. It's like, okay, well, that's good, right? Yeah, low ordered. Holy cow, dude. All right, so we it's like, all right, let's pick ourselves up and keep moving. So we do, and that tripwire IED, it was at a corner, at a turn in the path, and we kind of make that turn, and I see movement in the compound, and a guy runs like from the open straight back to the compound wall. I'm just like, oh shit. And then when the Afghans, when you're Afghan NMRG guys, the National Mine Reduction Groups dudes, when they say oh shit, it really means oh shit. And man, that compound wall just erupted in flames everywhere. PKM flame. I mean, it was a PKM engaged us, and it was like 17 meters, 20 meters away, and that flame shot out of that barrel, and it's like you could reach out and grab it, and the whole like side of the compound just lit up with AK fire, muzzle flash everywhere, and everything like that. So yeah, it just we were caught in a pretty good ambush, and which the tripwire IED was supposed to set off. But yeah, they couldn't really get me. We were pinned down, and it's good. They couldn't get an air solution because I was 17 meters away from the target of the PKM, and at that point, it was the most casualty producing weapon on the battlefield because I didn't have a cruiser above with me. We were clearing IEDs. And yeah, the RPG guy kept jumping out and screaming, Allah Akbar, letting them fly. And it's like, holy cow, man, there's tracer fire going everywhere. Overwatch position is engaging them. So there's American fire coming over us. And there's just it looked like a laser light show. It was impressive. But finally the call was made. It's like, if we don't drop, he's dead. They're pinned down in the orchard. They got us in an L shape, so the main element can't even get to them. Like, they're dead. So yeah, the call was made, and our combat controller came over the radio, and he's like, "Dude, this one's gonna be big, bro. Again, good luck." I was like, "Really?" And that thing came screaming in the sky, and he goes, "Weapons released, dude. Keep your head down." Man, that bomb came in and boom, just rocked us. And I felt, I remember like after I was watching the debris kind of fly over us, and I was just thinking like, man, I hope the chunks of this mud hut don't come raining down on me and just like kill me just with the chunks of it. And it did, yeah, it didn't, but everyone's standing up and you're trying to like get back to the main element, and you're flopping around like a fish and stuff because you just took a massive dose of overpressure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just like, boom, man, wow, we just got rocked. So that started the whole mission, and that was about 02 in the morning. And then we ended up clearing all of Nizula, and got to our LOA, and it's like, all right, let's start moving back. And apparently there was a miscommunication in military doctrine with the Afghans about holding ground that you've taken. I don't know, because they didn't want to stay. It was like, no, you guys stay. No, stud, this isn't the place. No, it doesn't work that way. So, long story short, we after this conversation's been going on, get alerted that there's individuals moving to a specific, they're like, hey, we don't know where they're going, but we see like 17 individuals at this time moving towards the village. It's like, okay, that's not good. Are they individuals or are they fighting age males? Like, what kind of individuals are we talking about here? And next thing you knew, man, that whole tree line erupts with gunfire, PKM fire strafing up and down the road, RPGs, and so we all jumped for, the cover, which was the ditch on either side of the road, and we're trying to return fire, but no one knows. I mean, tree line and basically a U shape around us is just going crazy, and we're trying to get an air solution, and the aircraft are like, dude, we can't see who's who. Like, they're in your lines. We don't know who is who here. So I was, oh crap, man. So now we're close quarter, and then that dreaded, release of a mortar round. We hear that, it's like, oh crap. So they shoot far, and on my position, I start looking around and I see that Frankie and I, my buddy, because we're the two Charlies, we're all the way in the front because we were clearing, it's like, dude, there's no one around us, man. We got Afghans with us, and Afghans are starting, we got, I think, 3 at this time in the ditch with us, and they're all bloodied up real good. It's like, holy cow. And then that mortar round, and it went long. And then it's like, oh shit, okay, let's see what they do. Then the next round, it went short. It was like, now they're about ready to split the difference.
Yeah.
It was like, we got to get out of here now. And so I grabbed up some other Afghans that were, they were just not wanting to fight. They were hiding in this little hole there. And I yanked one out by the hair, and the other ones followed, thank God. And we had to stay low because there was sniper fire was coming in everywhere. And so you had to do that boot camp duck walk through the damn canal. And I was like, oh, this is why we do it in maps. Okay, makes sense. But yeah, we get to our first place and finally see Americans like, okay, there's Joe right there. Good. And they're waving us over to the first CCP. And then, we start bringing in the casualties. And then the CCP gets rocked. And they'd moved around through this tunnel system that they had in the area. And now we're taking fire in the CCP. And, a couple Afghans got hit in there. And we heard the radio message. I think it was actually before that, but we heard the radio message that came across that kind of stops, all Americans in their tracks. And it's eagle down, eagle down, eagle down. So you don't know how they're down. If they're WIA, if they're KIA, you don't know what the deal is. But once we start getting everybody together and formulate a plan, now we got 4 Americans shot. We have Afghans that are KIA, WIA. Okay, good. Now we're taking fire inside our CCP. We can't land birds here. But the good news is they gave us distance. So now the bombs are starting to drop. We're like, oh God, now we can start to turn the tide of this. So with air cover, we're able to find another CCP that had a big field out by it where we can start landing medevac and getting our wounded out. And one of the medevac birds is he had to pull off because he had taken a lot of rounds and he was smoking. And I was like, great, we're about ready to lose the initiative here with a bird down. But he was able to make it back. No one came in. And we just start loading wounded and bodies and get to the end to where we have a pretty good handle on what's going on. And it's like, all right, men, weapon, and equipment. And, it's obviously weapons and equipment. You're missing shit all over the battlefield. But it's like men. It's like, okay, we're missing 4. It's like, okay, 4 Afghans. So go back to the CCP, this is all under fire. But thankfully we got a couple of Apaches up ahead. That's really being a nuisance, I guess, to the Taliban. But get back to the first CCP and find, I think it was 2 guys, or find 1 guy there, find 1 guy in the ditch on the way back. They're dead. And then it's like, okay, we're missing 2. We're missing my friend, Abe, and then another commando. It's like, where's the last time we saw Abe? It's like, he was all the way up in the front with me. It's like, okay. All the way in the front is 500 meters back up that dirt road, which is basically it's your right and left limit for a machine gunner. Mm. Okay, how are we going to do this? So our combat controller is like, well, I got an idea. I'm going to bring back in the Apaches, and they're going to lay waste to everything, and we're going to take off sprint behind them. And we're going to get to the bridge, and hopefully Abe's there. And, yeah, it was crazy because none of the Afghans would go with us. This is an American-led, mission to go recover Afghan, our brothers in arms there. So, there's arguments about it, whatnot, this, bullshit, we're going to get ourselves killed or whatever. It's like, look, no one gets left behind, dude. You know that. No one gets left behind. So this is happening. Cry about it. Don't fucking come there. We'll do it with the guys we got. So Apaches are inbound. Like, look, guys, you can sit here and argue all day. These guys are low on fuel. We got to go. Boom. Apaches come in, start doing their thing, and we just take off hauling ass. And get up to the road, get up to the footbridge where, we first took contact at and looked in the ditch, and there Abe was, and then the other Afghan commander, they were both dead in the ditch there. But we had found them. So got them out. Finally, we were able to get them out of a ditch, muddy, and they're covered in blood, so it's slick and and rounds are coming in. So, but get them out of the ditch and start moving back to the CCP we had established, and then we got Abe loaded up, and that was his last flight that he took. But we accounted for everybody. We did, we followed through with one thing that I like to believe that American soldiers will die for, and that's no one gets left behind. So, and we did it right that day. So in the end, we ended up having 8 Afghans KIA, or 10 Afghans KIA, 18 WIA, and 4 Americans WIA. So we stepped in a hornet's nest. That's for damn sure, I guess. Yeah. But it was a crazy day.
And as a result of that day, and I understand how humble you are, and we all appreciate that, but you were also put in and awarded the Silver Star. And can you also tell us about the Frederick Award?
Yeah. So yeah, I got the Silver Star for whatever it was. I don't know. But the Frederick Award, that was pretty cool. One guy out of the regiment a year gets this award.